Welcome to the Garifuna Experience Podcast. I'm your host, José Francisco Ávila. Today, we are exploring a remarkable piece of our shared past, one that profoundly demonstrates the deep and enduring roots of Garifuna heritage in this vibrant metropolis. We are going back nearly 200 years to explore a truly foundational cultural landmark, the Drama of King Shotaway, a play that immortalized Garifuna bravery and marked a pivotal moment, often uncredited part of New York City's cultural fabric for almost 2 centuries. One of the earliest and most powerful pieces of evidence for this lies in a groundbreaking work from 1823. On June 20th and 21st of that year, a visionary playwright named William Henry Brown penned and staged the Drama of King Shotaway, which is widely recognized as the very first African-American play written by an African-American. Now, what makes this so extraordinary, so incredibly powerful, is that its subject was none other than the epic, heroic defense of St. Vincent by the Garifuna people against overwhelming British colonization in 1795. This valiant stand was led by our revered Paramount Chief, José Chatoyer. This profound connection highlights how our heritage, already recognized by UNESCO as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity, has been a vital, enriching thread in the diverse cultural tapestry of New York City from its earliest emerging days. Joseph Chatoyer, Paramount Chief and freedom fighter. Let's delve deeper into the figure at the absolute heart of this play, a true national hero. Imagine leading a nation against a powerful empire, defending your people's right to their ancestral homeland. Right Excellent José Chatoyer was not just a chief, he was a brilliant military strategist, the undisputed head of the Garifunas, then known to the British as the Black Caribs in St. Vincent. Chatoyer was a freedom fighter, a liberator, a brilliant tactician, and a staunch, unwavering enemy of colonialism. His role as Paramount Chief designated him not only as a high priest and spiritual leader, but also as the commander-in-chief of all Carib warriors and the undeniable head of state of the Garifuna nation. On March 14, 1795, Chatoyer made the ultimate sacrifice, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Parallels with the American Revolution, the Carib Wars. As we celebrate the 249th anniversary of the independence of the United States of America this year, it's a good opportunity to reflect on the parallels between the American Revolution of 1765 to 1783 and the struggles of the Garifuna people. In 1768, Joseph Chatoyer rose to the position of Paramount Chief and King of the Garifuna people in St. Vincent. Chatoyer was respected not only by his own nation, but also by the British and French, a testament to his diplomatic skills and unwavering resolve. The First Carib War was a military conflict between the Carib inhabitants of St. Vincent and British military forces supporting British efforts at colonial expansion on the island. Led primarily by Black Carib chieftain José Chatoyer, the Caribs successfully defended the windward side of the island against the military survey expedition in 1769 and rebuffed repeated demands that they sell their land to representatives of the British colonial government. Amid continuing hostility, 2 regiments commanded by British Army officer William Dalrymple and based in Castle William, Fort Independence, an island fortress in Boston Harbor, were ordered to join those who could be spared from the neighboring island to subdue the Caribs. Major Dalrymple the commander of the expedition, was not able to subdue the Caribs until February 1773, almost 1 year after he had been ordered to do so. Orders were issued to put an end to the campaign and to offer honorable terms of peace to the Caribs. Chatoyer's influence extended beyond the battlefield. Fluent in French as well as Garifuna, he led the Garifuna delegation in 1773 to sign a peace treaty with the British at Grand Camp Macorico. This act demonstrates his commitment to finding peaceful solutions while fiercely protecting his people's interests. The terms of the treaty were printed on the government gazette in 1773. This was the first time that the British signed a treaty with non-European people. France colonized St. Vincent in 1779 during the American War of Independence, but it was restored to Britain by the Treaty of Paris in 1783. The Second Carib War took place in the island of St. Vincent between 1795 and 1797. The conflict pitted large numbers of British military forces against a coalition of black Caribs, runaway slaves, and French forces for control of the island, begun by the Carib, who harbored long-standing grievances against the British colonial administration and were supported by French revolutionary advisors. In March 1795, the Caribs successfully gained control of most of the island, except for the immediate area around Kingstown, which repelled direct assaults on several occasions after the arrival of the British reinforcements. Chatoyer, along with his brother Duballet, devised a strategic plan. Chatoyer will lead the rebellion on the leeward side, while Duballet led on the windward side. News of the uprising reached Kingstown on March 8, marking the beginning of the fierce struggle. British efforts to penetrate and control the interior and windward areas of the island were repeatedly frustrated by effective Carib defenses, which were eventually supplemented by the arrival of some French troops. In 1795, with St. Vincent under the repressive governorship of James Seton, the Caribs, under Chatoyer's inspired leadership, launched what will become known as the Second Carib War, a fierce 2-year offensive against the British, determined to reclaim their sovereignty and protect their ancestral lands. Chatoyer focused on driving out the British settlers, understanding that the land was vital for the Garifuna's future. He led his forces along the leeward coast, joining with the French at Chateaubalais, before uniting with Duballet at Dochachahel. Together, they set their sights on Kingstown. The culmination of this fierce resistance came on a fateful day, March 14, 1795, a battalion of British soldiers led by General Ralph Abercrombie marched towards Dochachahel. On that sacred night, the Right Excellent Joseph Chatoyer, Paramount Chief of the Caribs, met his heroic end, killed by British troops at Dochachahel, Kingston, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. Yet, even in death, his leadership reverberated. He had led our nation in a valiant, determined struggle, effectively preventing the Europeans from fully colonizing the Caribbean islands for decades, preserving our sovereignty and way of life for as long as humanly possible. St. Vincent was the last Caribbean island to be colonized. Chatoyer's legacy extended beyond his military achievement. He embodied the spirit of resistance, the importance of diplomacy, and the unwavering commitment to protecting one's homeland. Today, we honor his memory and celebrate the enduring resilience of the Garifuna people. The Drama of King Shotaway and William Henry Brown. It was this monumental struggle, this profound act of resistance against overwhelming odds, that captivated and inspired William Henry Brown. Brown immortalized Chatoyer and the Garifuna people's defiant fight in his seminal play, The Drama of King Shotaway. This play is not just a piece of theater. It is celebrated as the first black drama of the American theater, a pioneering work. Its subject, the 1795 Black Caribs Garifuna's defense of the island of St. Vincent against colonization by the British, etch our story into the very foundations of American performing arts. And Mr. Brown himself is rightly known as the first African playwright of African descent, a true trailblazer. Let's talk more about William Henry Brown, also known as William Alexander Brown, a name that should echo through the annals of American history. He was not only an American playwright, but a visionary theatrical producer, a true entrepreneur of culture. He is without doubt considered the first known black playwright in America, a truly pioneering figure operating in a time of immense social and racial oppression. William Alexander Brown was a free black man born in the West Indies who gave up his job as a steward on a Liverpool liner and purchased a house in New York City on the north side of Thompson Street. He noticed the lack of entertainment centers for free urban blacks, and in 1821, he decided to open an establishment in the backyard of his home that he called the African Grove. There, he served food and drink to his patrons and encouraged readings of poetry and dramatic interludes. One of his frequently invited guests was James Hewlett, a fellow steward and a theater enthusiast who had observed performances from the balcony at Price's Park Theater. Inspired by Hewlett, Brown constructed a theater on Mercer Street and hired a company of black performers to present plays to African American audiences. Performances there became a novelty and eventually attracted a white clientele who came to watch the black actors imitating European nobles. The most popular plays at the African Grove were Richard III and Othello, but original works were also presented. The Drama of King Shotaway, a play about a black Carib revolt on the island of St. Vincent, was written by William Brown and was the first African-American play to be written and produced in the United States. Unfortunately, no surviving copy of the script remains. And within this incredibly fertile and groundbreaking context, Brown wrote and staged The Drama of King Shotaway in 1823, a compelling historical drama based on the Black Carib War in St. Vincent. As the African Grove Theater's popularity soared, it became not only a vibrant cultural hub for the black community, but also a significant diversion and meeting place for curious white patrons, fostering a crucial early form of cultural exchange. The very existence of the Drama of King Shotaway and the African Grove Theater stands as irrefutable, powerful evidence. It proves unequivocally that the Garifuna heritage, our struggle, our identity, our very story was embedded in the cultural landscape of New York City from its earliest formative days. This play is not just a historical curiosity. It is a profound testament to the Garifuna people's enduring spirit and their early indelible contributions to the prosperity, power, and progress of this great city, paving the way for countless artists and cultural expressions to follow. National Heroes Day. On March 14, 2002, the Right Excellent José Chatoyer, Paramount Chief of the Caribs, Garifuna, was declared the first national hero of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Accordingly, March 14 was declared National Heroes Day, as well as a public holiday. On this day, the country honors their national hero, the Right Excellent José Chatoyer, Paramount Chief of the Caribs, Garifuna. part of the Heroes' Day celebration, a wreath-laying ceremony is held at the obelisk at Chatoyer Hill. The obelisk is the monument to the great Paramount Chief José Chatoyer. Statue of José Chatoyer. The historic town of Punta Gorda in Honduras holds the distinction of being Roatan Island's oldest permanent settlement, as well as the first Garifuna community established in Central America. This is also the site of the only existing statue of Chief José Chatoyer, the Paramount Chief of the Garifuna people in the entire diaspora. And that wraps up another illuminating episode of the Garifuna Experience Podcast. Today, we explore the powerful story and profound significance of the Drama of King Shotaway and how it serves as undeniable evidence that the Garifuna heritage has been an integral part of New York City's cultural fabric for nearly 200 years, influencing the very origins of American theater. Thank you for listening, and remember, the future of the Garifuna people is in our hands, and we are driving it forward. Until next time, stay united, stay proud, Sungube Lida Aba. Ayo. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, rate, and review the Garifuna Experience Podcast wherever you listen.